Hey folks, how you doing? It's James JT at the movies, and I'm back for day number 9 of my 30-day movie challenge. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm actually a little shocked that I've managed to make it this far. At least this consistently, anyway, especially with everything else going on. But I'm really determined to get through this. I'm having an absolute blast of a time with it so far, especially the last couple of days, sort of trying to work in where I'm going to be able to watch a film within my schedule and sort of work that round. It's been really quite fun. But today we're going to be talking about a film with a soundtrack that I love. And if you watched yesterday's vlog, you'll know that there was one that I said that I was thinking of watching, that was my plan to watch from day one, that linked into Star Wars, and that was going to be the Blues Brothers. Of course, the Star Wars link being that Carrie Fisher plays not Elwood Blues, Jake Blues' fiance. Sorry, you have to forgive me on that one. But I had the thought while we were down in London, actually, about revisiting a film that I've really enjoyed. I've only seen a couple of times, whereas I've seen the Blues Brothers dozens of times over the years. And so I decided that I would revisit Jersey Boys, which is a 2014 film directed by Clint Eastwood, who is just one of my all-round favourite filmmakers, actors. You know, he's a composer, director, producer, writer. The guy's, got a resume, he's got a calling card, hasn't he, like almost nobody else's in Hollywood, and he's still going today, 92 years old or whatever he is. The man's a legend. But not only is he a legend, Jersey Boys, the film, adapts the story of another set of legends, the Four Seasons. And anybody who knows me knows how much music means to me. I'm in a vocal harmony group myself, and one of my sort of earliest influences was hearing Sherry by the Four Seasons. Long before I knew what vocal harmonies was, I heard that sound, and then through that I was introduced to the sound of the Bee Gees, and it was the Bee Gees that made me want to learn the guitar to accompany my voice, because that was my inspiration for learning the guitar, was seeing the Bee Gees stood around one microphone singing, I think it was Too Much Heaven or Heartbreaker, one of those tracks that they do in the sort of mid-concert medley that they used to do. This is going really niche, but I'm rolling with it. And that's what inspired me to pick up the guitar, and I do often think that without, hearing that Frankie Valli song, that I maybe wouldn't have gone down the route that I've gone down. And of course my tastes have changed and evolved, and my musical style is influenced by a great many different singers and guitarists and whatever, but this music is something that I hold incredibly dear. I was fortunate enough to be able to see Frankie Valli live a few years ago with his current touring version of the Four Seasons. Of course, he's the only original member that's still involved, but he still, I think he was 87 at the time, and he put on a show that somebody half his age couldn't do. It was absolutely spectacular. The guy's really looked after his instrument, and it was just spectacular. But on to the film. The film is the biopic of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons forming in New Jersey, and then their rise to fame, and then their sort of fall from grace, as it were, in the 70s, when it became just a Frankie Valli sort of fronted band with a band of session musicians behind him. And it talks about their sort of connections with local villains, and there's even an interesting little tidbit in there where there's this character Joey that they push around in the film, and they sort of give him grief, and he grows up to become Joe Pesci. And it's really funny when you watch it on repeat viewings, when because the reveal is that he's Joe Pesci at the end of the film, and you sort of see him riffing on the funny how from Goodfellas, and okay that he does when he plays Leo in Lethal Weapon, and other characters that he's done along the way. It was really quite a nice little twist. The cast are superb. I believe that the 4 main chaps playing the Four Seasons were lifted from the Broadway production, and they do it absolutely splendidly. It's John Lloyd, I think the chap's name is, that plays Frankie Valli. I could be doing him a disservice there, and if I am, apologies, but he's uncanny. When he sings and he gets those high falsetto notes, and he's able to put that sort of scream, that growl into it that Frankie Valli did in his youth. You could be listening to the real thing, and they all bounce off each other incredibly well. Christopher Walken turns up in this film as well in a nice extended cameo, and it sort of lends the film a bit of sort of acting royalty, sort of credence, if you like, as well. But yeah, it's just brilliant. The music is obviously superb. As I've said, that holds a really special place in my heart. And the film flows like you're watching it on stage. It flows like a stage production rather than a film. You know, and they do the whole sort of, you know, they'll be singing a song and then they'll turn to the camera and go, and at this point in history, I was, you know, doing X, Y, and Z. And, you know, it's almost sort of like I say, a stage production or a documentary sort of type thing at points. You know, it's sort of like got these sort of like rolling sets and stuff. Like the final set piece is them singing and dancing to December '63, Oh What a Night. And it's you know, sort of, it's one of these where it sort of keeps pulling back and everybody's dancing and singing and all the cast walk on from different points, and it's just absolutely brilliant. I'm sure that some of it's dramatized and maybe condensed to make it flow better for a, you know, for a production and for a film or whatever. And you know, I'm not so daft as to think that liberties don't get taken with these stories, but it's a really fascinating and incredibly enjoyable way to tell the story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. I picked it because it's, I think, slightly underrated and not one that always gets a lot of love when you think about films with great soundtracks and great music films and whatever else. But I would thoroughly recommend you to check it out if you're a fan, or even if you're not a fan of the music. I still think you get a lot out of it. So that's been my sort of thoughts on the Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons film Jersey Boys. Definitely go and check it out. If you have seen it, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you think, and what are some of your other favourite music films as well, or your favourite films with a soundtrack. That didn't make any sense, did it? But I'm going to leave it in because we're not editing these videos. And if you are new to me, please think about subscribing to the channel as well. It would help the channel to grow, and it would mean the world to me as well to keep you around. I genuinely mean that. Take care of yourselves, folks. I'm off to go and play my own gig now, which links in quite nicely with the music, and I will see you tomorrow for day 10 of the challenge. And that's going to be the last day I'm going to be able to show you on my fingers, at least, unless I start sort of you know, doing maths in the air. But take care of yourselves, folks, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now.